Hey beauties, this is Janine Z. Thank you for stopping by my channel. The goal of this channel is for you to become a refined, elevated version of yourself and slowly, or maybe even quickly, grow into the best version of yourself. So let's get started with today's video, which I am so excited about. I was talking to one of my coworkers. Her name's Natasha, so hey girl, hey if you're watching. And I was talking to her about how I wanted to do a Black History Month video. Now there's so many ways we can do this in the fashion industry. And she said, you know, you should talk about how some classic style pieces can be seen today. And it really kind of triggered this thought about my own personal style and how my style has evolved from just looking at so many beautiful Black women through the years. I have always felt like the core of who we are, the thing that kind of really shapes our styles, shapes our personality, specifically really comes from that time when you're in high school going into college. And for me, that was the TLC time, the Mary J Blige time, the Halle Berry time, that was the Lauryn Hill time. And I feel like although I didn't copy anyone's style, I took pieces from everyone's style. And I think that is so important when we're talking about developing personal style. You should be inspired by some people. I would like people to be inspired by me. You should be inspired, but you shouldn't be a copy of anyone. And so I decided to take this video to pay homage to all these women who have affected certain pieces of my style. And the way I decided to break this up is by actual garments of clothing that I wear because I saw them wear. And I want to start off with Mary J Blige. If you know my style, you know I lean to a classic, chic, edgy style with a little bit of sexiness in it. But there's a statement part of that too. I love to turn ahead. If my outfit seems a little bit too boring for me, I don't even want to wear it. A lot of times I'm like, how can I edge this up? What else can I do? And I feel like that really is important with outerwear. When I look at Mary J Blige, for me, she taught me the importance of statement outerwear. Mary J Blige could kill a coat. Oh my gosh. Sometimes it was the fur coat. Oftentimes it was an extra long coat. Sometimes it was a more structured classic coat. But I really paid attention to the outerwear that Mary J wore. And although I would say that my style is very different from hers, she taught me the importance of outerwear. And so thank you, Mary. I took that from you. Along with that, she also wore a good sunglass. So outerwear plus sunglasses, Mary J Blige, thank you. The next thing that is really like an important part of my style, something that I'm wearing today, is a blazer. I love a blazer. And I would like to thank Sade, Iman, Whitney Gilbert from A Different World, also known as Jasmine Guy, for creating a love for blazers. We all watched A Different World. And as annoying as Whitney's voice really was, the fact that she put on a blazer and she kept it all together and it just made her look elevated to another level. It was then I learned that blazers elevate your style. Blazers put you on top. I loved Iman because Iman would use it as like the perfect finisher, and it would just be classic and beautiful. I love that about Iman. And so her in a blazer, yes ma'am, yes ma'am. And then the final person who I wanted to talk about is Sade. If you want a classic, simple, chic style icon, that is Sade. That is who she is. And I just loved her style, period. I love the classicness, the simplicity of a style. But she kind of taught you all you need is a blazer and a button up. Like, girl, that's all you need. And you will look pulled together. Timeless, gorgeous, beautiful. And so I want to thank those ladies for really inspiring my love for the blazer. And it is a very important part of my wardrobe today. Now, Halle Berry is going to be in a couple categories. I feel like her style is the style that I love the most, hers and Nia Long's. Halle Berry is the person who really got me into liking a cropped jacket. It just added a different cool factor. It allowed you to see the waist. It allowed you to see the silhouette of the woman. It allowed the waist to even look smaller, and Holly has a small waist, but the waist would look even smaller because the proportions would jut out right just above the waist, cut off, and then the waist looks even narrower because of the crop jacket. And I learned, okay, girls, every once in a while, when we want to take away some of the classicness that comes with a blazer, juxtapose that with a cropped jacket and give it to the girls. Give it to the girls. It's effortless, it's cool, it's edgy. Thank you, Holly Berry. You taught me something, girl. Now, I can credit so many people with this, but something that I really love is a high neck. I love to think of Laura Winslow when it comes to high necks. Like, I'm wearing a high neck now, so that's a Laura Winslow inspired thing. When she wore her hair, got a little older in Family Matters, started wearing her hair in that pixie cut, oftentimes she would have some kind of high neck on. Nia Long did that too with the short hair as well. So if you have short hair or just hair off your face, that high neck, it does something to your face. Another neckline that I loved is a strapless neckline or a tube top. And when I think of strapless neckline, I often think of Megan Good and Tyra Banks. I really feel like those women, and there's so many more, so I'm gonna throw up all the people who I remembered wearing these. I want y'all to see these gorgeous women. I really do. But when I think of like bandeau tops, tube tops, strapless, I think of Megan Good, I think of Tyra, because they did that often. On that beautiful bronzy black skin, it was just beautiful. And so I started beginning to get a love for that. And then I started really getting, which is not a far departure from that, I started getting into halter tops. That again was a Laura Winslow, Nia Long, Holly Berry type of thing for me. I just really loved how feminine it made you look, how sexy you looked. You're covered, and I'm into like being covered, and I feel like what you have with the bandeau tops and what you have with halter tops, you have that you're covered but you're exposed at the same time. I love a halter neck to this day for that feminine sophistication that it brings. And I learned it from those ladies. I love a mini dress and a mini skirt, and I can honestly say that Hilary Banks from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is the reason I loved it. She would wear a lot of hats. I was just not into her hats like that. They were a little wild for me. But anytime she put on her little suits with the mini skirts, or if she had on a mini dress, anything that she was in mini, I just loved. I love seeing the long legs going into a pump. I just loved it. And it's something that I still like to this day. So thank you, Hilary, for just, you know, inspiring me, girl, to like start incorporating that particular silhouette into my style. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about is the bodycon dress. The bodycon dress was a Holly Berry thing. Holly wore so many bodycon dresses, as she should, because her body to this day, and I'm sure she's in her late 50s, I believe she's like 57, is banging. Her body always was, and it still is, banging. And she just wore a bodycon dress and looked amazing in it every time. And again, a bodycon dress is a way for you to be completely covered if you want to, if it's high neck and long sleeve, or it could be like something where you're showing a little something. But it's a way to be almost really covered up. She looked elevated, she looked classy, she looked sexy, she looked all the things. And I'm still wearing bodycon midi dresses every time I want to look sexy and elevated. There's one in particular that I wear to work, and everybody always is like, that's such a good dress on you. And I'm completely covered up, but it shows the bit of curves that God gave me. And I just think that is beautiful. And so that makes up the final item of clothing that I know that I wear because I was inspired by these beautiful black women in the 90s who are, if you go look up any of them, they're still killing it today. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a really fun video for me. I loved looking at the pictures, and I love seeing like, man, we're still doing all this stuff. We're still wearing all this stuff. I still am pulling from this, and I really want to end on this. I pulled from this person's look. I pulled from that person's look. I pulled from that person's look. It might have been Holly, Robin. I know for a while it was Lauryn Hill and the lips. You know, I had a pixie cut at one time. I had cut it short like Holly's but dyed it red like Mary's. I did like a lot of the things, and I pulled all this style and inspiration from all these people, but I never once tried to be any of them. I never tried to like let my look just be one person. And so I feel like to this day we have even more people to choose from. There are influencers, which opens the doors to you seeing a lot of different people. Look, pull from all of them, learn from all of them. I like this, I'm gonna leave this, earrings like that, rings like this. Like, pull from all of them, but stay true to you and develop your own personal style. Again, I am Janine Z. Welcome to this channel where you learn to refine your style, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye bye.